Hi, welcome again to this one. Brand new skating on the 6 foot. Like I said, we're going to do with the other two tanks being emptied and all into one. We've got a big pile of scaping on the floor, and plants and everything. So it's going to be a little bit of a long video. I'm going to be starting to build a mound in this corner. So I don't have to use so much substrate. I've got some big rocks which I'm going to put in that corner first. Just to build it up. A nice big hump of it. Not going to go quite a way, so I'm going to got a few more rocks to put in there. That brings us up to a certain height. And I've got a load of old ex-tank gravel here. This is white coral gravel. I'm just going to pour that out of this bag over top of them rocks to build the hump. Get the jug out. There you go, so start the hump. So although this is old soil, old tank that's already been used, I'm still going to start like it's a fresh tank. So I've got a bag here of aqua soil. This is the mud base soil. So it needs to be capped, this one.
And why does it need to be capped?
If you don't cap it, it leaks out into the into your water course and just makes it filthy all the time. Because it's clay based. But this has got a bit of lava rock and all in it as well, but it's mainly clay based soil, so it needs capping. Again, I'm going to put a scatter over top of me hill. See how the water's gone. A little bit of water that's in there, it's gone filthy. Don't need too much up the other end. We've got that. I've got a large bit of wood, so I won't get too many plants up that way. But I have, like I say, got some more dirt and escape stuff to go in as well. So if we put that in next, that's the actual aqua soil. This is a break-up of soil and sludge, which is we're going to break down underneath and feed the plants. Lovely. So you see that was proper clay stuff in there. Oops. Just a heater. Not balanced up in the light. We've got that going. And then we've got the top cap to lock it in with. This is this big bucket full here. So what we do is I'll start locking it in, and then we'll do a pause on the camera for a minute while I put the rest in. It's going to take a little while to shovel this in. So you want a good coverage, about an inch to lock that soil in. So again, even on top of that mound, you want a good inch of gravel up there. Yeah, so you look in like that, a good inch, and it stops it bleeding out. So on and so forth. I'm going to pause it there. Yeah, so that bucket load's in, so we're now washing the next bucket load of gravel here. We're getting near the end, so just wanted to show you've got to wash this gravel, because if you don't, it is very, very sandy and dirty. So what I have is an old rice sieve. If you're going to get your sieve, make sure it's one your wife says you can use, and then keep it for the aquarium use only, and you can't get yourself in trouble. I then take it out of the bag with an old jug, again aquarium use only, not one of them the wife said I couldn't use. I'm single anyway, but I wouldn't never use these in my kitchen. Right, so we take this jug of stones. The reason I use it like this is because it's easier to wash through than putting it into the bucket itself and then trying to stir and stir. That will take you forever. You just get your tap running vigorously and then wash it. And as you wash it, if you go around, get the worst out first, you see it's very dirty. And then what I tend to do is just do little figure eights like this, so it stirs the gravel as it's washing it. And the water out the bottom comes out nice and clean. Give it a shake, up and down, get the worst of the water out in the bucket. And that's us all washed. So this is, if you look in the jug here, you can see the dust and the muck that you need to wash out compared to the washed. Yeah, so again, I only put in about 3/4 of the sieve full like that, just so it doesn't spill over the top as I'm throwing it about. And just to see all the orange muck coming out of it where the stones have been rubbing together in their bag. If you didn't do that, that would just all bleed out into the water force, and you'd have to wait 3 or 4 days for it to settle down again. But this way you get less. You still get a certain amount of dust in it, but you don't get as much. As simple as that. Okay. So we've got that last pot washed and in. I'll just spread it over now, into 2 inches of this coverage. Not so much I can fill down this end, so this end goes through to 2 inches too much. Where's the big lump of wood stone, which we're going to place in next. That's the gravel in. So we're now going to do this piece of wood here, and we're going to pause the camera while we lift it up and into place, and then come back to the video. There we go, we've got the wood in position. That's that part. And what I'm going to do, there's a big gap in here, quite nice hollow. I'm going to take a handful of stone and I'm just going to put some stone in. And I'm going to put a few normal stem plants in there. Now I'm going to put some bit there. Put some too. So, there you go. So next in the rest of the decoration. So we've got a few big rocks and some smaller rocks. And we've also got some bios to go in and all those sticks there to go in. And first of all, I'm going to put a few rocks around the wood. So it looks like it's push it in there. It comes apart of the substrate and there's always stones and wood around. You get caught as the current moves. So we've put a few lots of stones in. There, all in grey roots and sizes. A few smaller ones, and then a couple of big ones to the other end. So the majority of this is just granite, and then bits with like marble in it, which is quartzite basically. The bigger granite bits like this and the bits there I dug up out of my garden because it's not a sandstone. You can use it quite happily and it won't break down. Let's just put these in here for a minute. Another one there. Put that there. Try to get that in there. Right, so I've got this piece of wood here. This is petrified wood. So this is old wood that's turned to rock. So I'm going to put that in here as well. And that'll make it look like wood's been coming here for time gone on. I'm just going to throw a few around that there. Got a couple of bits of what they call the dragon rock from the other scapes. Again, more bits of quartzite and granite. We'll put a few scatter stones in here and there. I want to do now. More of a fallen log look. We've got some bits of Tyler wood here. And this is what was in the woodland tank in the corner with the moss on top, making the forest. So I'm just going to go in with this and just lay that about in different places. A bit sticking up here. I'm going up, I'm going down. Going there like that. A piece in there. And put some going off that way a little bit, like so. So what we do now is the other end. We've got a already dressed piece of wood. We've just got Anubias on it and Java fern. This came out of the tank in the corner with the lemon textures and all in. That's one of the pieces. You see, so it's got, oh there you go, and see we've got a bit of crypt growing up there. People think you can only put epiphytes on wood, but it's no, that's a crypt which you can only put in the soil, but it's come free, got lodged there, and away it's growing. This here is a little bit of Nubius petite. This one is Nubius nana, and this is Java fern tropheus. So it's like the orangey colour on the leaves. Just going to find a little hole for this. Move just the wedge under. It'll probably float when I fill up with water.
And what ways are there of sticking your plants to the wood?
You use super glue, but it must be the Sienna Acolyte glue, which is fish safe. Generally, they say the liquid one you use for sticking plants to wood. Sorry, the liquid one for sticking rocks and wood to rocks and wood, and then you use a gel one for the plants. But there's generally, if you get the right bit of wood, there's generally areas within the wood you can just wedge your plants in, as you've seen on that big lump, which I'm going to address in a minute. There's various little slots and slivers in there. Again, I'm going to throw a few stones around there. I've got a few more in there. Just give it a bit more of a multi-substrate. This is going to be my normal Wilstead type tanks. So basically, the tank itself will take care of itself eventually. At first, I'll put a little filter on it just to get it running. But then, once it's all planted up, the plants will do the filtering in another 4 or 5 months, and I won't worry about anything else. I won't do big water changes. I will never clean the gravel. Your water is, if your fish are happy in your water, why take water out weekly to put tap water in, which isn't very nice for your fish in the first place. So I don't do that. I just allow the evaporation because I have no lids on my tanks, and then I just refill with water, and that's all I do. And as you know, my tanks thrive. I don't let maybe lots of fish. So I think it's a good way to go. I've got the few smaller scatter rocks here now. Just gonna scatter a few more onto that. Bonk, bonk, bonk. That's fine. You literally just scatter them about rocks. Little stones and big stones always get wedged up together. So, it's the hardscape and all the scatter stones got available at the moment. I'll probably add more in time to come. And now, I have now, in this tank down here, I've been soaking a load of botanicals. Some of them the Capaccia leaves, almond leaves, but then there's alder sticks, beech leaves, alder cones, a few pine cones. I picked up off the local woodlands. The water down here is so black from where they've leached a fair bit of tannins out, but they will carry on leaching tannins out for a while yet. But the tannins are what keep your fish healthy and happy. They've got like an antiseptic value to them, and they help to ward off many of illnesses and all. And the fish are happier in slightly orangey green water than they are in clear bath water. So always good to have botanicals of one way or another. Like your tannins of your, when it comes out of your wood. It's all good stuff for your fish. Embrace them. Don't keep doing water changes or putting carbon filters in to help take the tannins out of your water. Then that water's good. Yeah, the water gets a bit dark, do water changes, do thin it out a little bit, but don't fret about the tannins, embrace them. So I think that's about a few more leaves. So yeah, so some nice botanicals there, and what we're going to do now is just scatter these around the tank. Then we'll start with the plants and the epiphyte plants and the stem plants. I like dark water tanks, as I said, botanicals are good for your fish. So embrace them. It does make the tanks only look like the bottom of a river, natural, and just a plain old bottom of a tank or plain old gravel. The botanicals all spread out. Yeah. I've got a couple of rocks there on the wood I need to move off. Just a little bit of patches. Got that corner there, that one. Lovely. So we're starting, well, I've just filled that crevice in the wood with the gravel. I'm going to put this is a Cryptwentii in there. We've got another couple of little crypts down here, but we're not going to worry about them at the moment, so I'm going to stick that in there. And then we've got all this Java fern. This is Java Tropheus, so it gets quite big, and that's all that is, even these little clumps of the rhizome with the tiny little babies growing. They'll come as big as them in a few months' time. We've got Anubius, so again we've got the Nana, which are the bigger leaf ones. And then we've got this one here, which has got the leaf, it looks like a holly leaf, can't remember the name of it. We've got some species of that, and there's a couple of little pieces of the petite as well amongst it. So we'll go with this and the bigger bits, a couple of bigger bits of the Java fern. What I'm going to do, let's do up there. I'm going to spray down the wood and all, because I don't want the plants drying out too much. So I'm going to give a good squirt up in that gravel there for starters for this one, and then I'm going to just generally soak all them crevices. Sorry about that, that was my towel falling off the shoulder. All these little gaps here, so I'm going to be putting the Java fern. And in other places, just where I can. A few more crevices and anything. I say at this stage, when you're doing the Java fern and Java moss, Java fern, Java moss, or Anubius on the wood, you generally stick it with cyanoacrylate glue, super glue, the gel one, Right, so I've got the gravel in there, so I'm going to go in there. I'm just going to get those roots into that gravel in there. Make sure it's well buried in. That's one quick thing. But like I say, that's a stem plant. So generally you put them in the ground. But like I say, you can put them into the wood as well. As you'll see, I've got baby ones that come off of the other pieces of wood I've taken out. That was actually grown amongst the Java fern on top of the wood as well. So just shows you they will grow and grow to quite a size like that. So like I say, we've got a few little slots. So what I'm going to do is get the rhizome down into that slot there. I'm just going to push it in. And it's down there. That's that one in wedged in position. I'm going to add it quite a different places. There's a crack down here, just behind this leaf. Nice crack here. This one I'm going to wedge into that crack. Again, I'm not going to glue it because I'm really wedging it in there. I've got a couple of smaller bits here, baby bits. Again, there's slots here, so I just push them into that slot, slide them up till they go tight on top of that slot. Put these ones next to this. I'll fill this little slot up here with babies. One or two of them might come floating up when we fill up. That's the first shift. I'll get some more Java fern on focus. The rest of that one. There's quite a bit of it. Hold that there. Oh, that's a bit of Nubius fatigue I didn't see amongst that. Oh, and there's a bit of Bruce Philander. I'll show you that in a second. Just get these virtually down in as well. That wood. Nice babies. Got more of those. Really tight up in that groove there. That's going to be a nice clump there. So yeah, so we've got the Bruce here, which is Bruce Philandra. Again, it's got them crinkly leaves to it, and this is a nice red colour. Nice deep sort of maroony red, I'd say. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm colourblind, so that's what I would call it. And again, this is an ephobite, it's got the rhizomes. So I'm just going to
Sorry, show us those rhizomes again.
You've got the roots coming off the main stem itself here, all the way down it, that's your main rhizome. Yeah, I'll show you, I'll get that. So yeah, so the bottom of there, look, plant's woody, yeah, and that wood is there, then the roots come off of that wood, thus go off that wood, that wood's your rhizome, so that needs to be above the surface. You can plant those few roots into the substrate, as long as that rhizome's sitting on substrate, then it will grow. That's a little bit of Java fern. Right, so I'm going to put this. I want to be quite bright light, but also not too much red light. And work that one out there. Yeah, I could put it down here. Yeah, I think I'll put this one down here. It's a good idea. And then I'll put a bush out like that. And then I'll put a Nubius in here. Not that too. So yeah, some more Java fern. And the gap here again. And wedge some Java fern in there. Yeah. driveway up in there. And we've got lots more little small pieces. Try and get this cemetery together so I can get onto the right hand together. And this one, which is just behind this rock. Somewhere. I've got this big lumpy bit, which is a big rhizome. Still got little babies coming off it now. So that's going to go, I'm going to wish that in that gap like that. And as they grow up, that'll come up lovely up there. And the last few baby Java there. I can see a little bit of that in that little gap up there as well. So yeah, that's that Java fern. So the next Java fern we got is Java fern trident. Instead of the big normal leaves, this one has got like fingery, feathery bits at the end of the leaves. So this is Java fern trident. Only got this one piece of this in here. I'm looking where I want to put it. I think a little bit in there. Actually, I'll stick it right in there. Then we go with the Nubius next. So yeah, so now we're starting the Nubius. I've got this lovely big, this is a Nubius Bertelli, lovely big one here. And this one I'm just going to lift this branch and I'm going to put him in like this. And I'm just going to lay that branch back over top of him, and then he will bend and come back to the light anyway, and that's here in place. So then we've got, like I said, we've got the crinkle leaf one here. It's got a leaf like a holly. I'm just going to add this one just above in this slot here where we put that bit of boost. That'll help shade that a bit as well. And I've got another one of those, slightly bigger clump of it. And I think I'm going to wedge it in this branch like that. Keep that wedged in there. Yep. And then we've got a couple of Nubius Nana, this one is. She's got the more rounder leaf, not quite as big a leaf as the Bertelli. And this I'm going to stop. Yeah. So this is Nubius Nana, but this one, because it's about the right shape on that, I'm going to wedge him just in above that Java fern there. No, it's not going to wedge. So yeah, that's it wedged. And then these two, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one in these sticks here. Just wedge it in again. And so it takes the thing from the watercourse, so the roots will grow down into that substrate and get even more nutrients then as well. And then this one here, I'm going to shift that leaf up there, the gap just here, I'm going to wedge that one in under here because nubias don't like too much light. Let's see, wedged it under there. And then we've got this Nubius petite and this tiny little one cut enough for Nubius petite as well, which I don't know how it's got into the bucket, but it's in there, so we'll really use it. Again, this box is more of a dark crevice. I won't be able to see it a bit off. And I'll just see, have a look around a bit. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to put him in there, in that little slot there. Put him in there. Right. So that's all your effer bites. We'll just soak these down again. Now, it may say bathroom cleaner, but it is water, I promise you. Do not use bathroom cleaner. I boiled this out with steaming hot water 4 times, where then run it under cold tap, and full and emptied about 10 times before I started putting water into it. Again, we're just going to spray down the effer bites, just so they don't dry out too much. So we'll be handling them about a bit. Just because it's got all the stem plants to do yet as well, so we don't want those to dry out too much. Okay. So now we've got a bucket full of Java moss. There's also amongst it, funny enough, some weeping moss as well. But yeah, this is a big bucket full of moss. That's just half the bucket. There's even more at the bottom there. I'm just going to wedge this in different places, wrap it in other places. I want some to grow nearer the surface as well, so I know there's a nice crack in here. That's right near the surface, so I'm going to wedge them over to there like that, for starters. And that'll go merrily away, up there, and go across the surface of the water a bit, and spread out nicely. I'll put a bit more in there. Right, it's a big room in there. I'll do it like that, so that hangs down a bit like that. And then we'll just chuck a bit under these sticks and sort of wrap them onto the stick a bit. And again, that will just come upwards and dry upwards as the water goes in. This bit here, I'm just going to again flip through this stick, like that. Oh, it's fell off again. Yeah. Keep through a bit. And that one, just the weight off. And then just twist that around there, like that. Won't take too much away from that nubius. Put that there and twist it in. I might go for a bit just here as well, just in that gap. You just wedge it in place. That's all good to go. That's that pot full of that. So now we're on to the stem plants. Okay, so here we've got quinum, sorry. Don't know the other name of it. It's like a vallis, but it's crinkled. It's very expensive for one little plant. On the internet you pay from £8 up to £10 to £15 sometimes, depending who the seller is. I've got 3 of them, which I already had in the other tank, and these are going to go up the back behind that wood. Because they've got great big roots on them, I'm going to dig like a trench and push the roots along and under, so they're not all clumped up together in the same place. That's that one in. I'm going to go right down the back with this one. That one's got less of a root base on it. Actually broke a bit now. Took it out of the other tank because it's gone through the net bags. That's why I stopped using net bags, because plants go into the net bag and then when you want to move them, you really can't. Always have a little tiny bit of root here. It's got 2 little stems on it, so hopefully they will construct some new plants. And then one more here. I'm going to put this one just here, on this, just on the edge of the mound. And so that's the main plant in like that, and then like I say, I push the roots in all the way, and it allows it to get established and get to that good nourishment and that nutrient of the soil we put in there quicker. Right, so that's them big one grasses in there. That'll look spectacular when we fill up. So next I'm going to go with one of the biggest ones, pots of kabuma. And this is going to go in the back corner over here. Just position myself with the ladder. This is a lovely big, it looks like Limophilia, but it's much more bushier, and the underside of the leaf structure goes pink in colour. So it's very nice. I have found if you trim it too much, it reaches for the sky quickly again and grows quite tall and lanky, but then once it hits the surface it then fills out again and becomes all nice and bushy. Okay, so that's the kabuma in that end. And now because I'm going to go for a bit more the uniform look, I've got this other plant here which is similar sort of feathery leaf thing, from cutting to my good friend Garth. I don't actually remember the name of the plant, but this one is very delicate feather-like leaves. And again, that will plump up and grow lovely and bushy like the kabuma, but just finer. Now I'm going to put this one here. So we've got a feather-like leaf that end, feather-like leaf that end. We'll go through the stem plants in a minute that we've got ready, and got a few more to add afterwards. We've got to take out their pots yet. Here we go. So we've got this Sutara blood red, that's Sutara blood red. Okay. So we've got this, I believe is a Tyler green. Again, this is cuttings from my friend Garth. And we have the Tyler, I believe, blood red as well. I'm going to put these in. I'm going to put the red right here in front of this rock. Get the best light. Good tucking. Oh, there's another bit of that other stuff in there. Okay? Just a leaf. That's just a leaf. Okay, so then we've got the, like I said, the Tyler green here. I'm going to go just behind this here. Like that. The Tyler. And then in the tank round here, I've got a load of the Tyler Thunderflora. So I'll just ease that out. I'll take a good couple of sections of that. And again, although this looks like the green, the actual underneath of the leaves as they get closer to the surface go pink underneath. Just move those few floaters on everything. The only problem with me adding this in is that tank's got duckweed in it. So you know there's going to be a bit of duckweed stuck somewhere in it. So I'll be looking out for duckweed over the next few days. This I'm going to go here. Get near that light and help give a bit of flush of pink there. Then we go to the deep bow reds. So, this here is a red lotus lily. Sort of pinkish purple, is it? On top, and then shockingly purple underneath the leaf. This is going to be it's going to go right in the centre, foreground here. This is actually a bulb, so you've got to make sure that bulb's underground. And just like any other stem plant, but you've got to make sure that bulb is down underneath that substrate. And that's a lovely floaty plant. That will come up and float up nicely. Eventually to get a bit bigger, some of them leaves will reach to the surface. And then we've got this, which is Luigia cardinalis, for another splash of red. We're going to go down here with this one. There's a bit more red over here. You can have another couple of red plants as well down this end. But it's this one going to go in there. Again, that's deep green with a nice red underneath to the leaves. Okay, so this one now is the Cooper Carolina. It's quite a tall plant again. There's green leaves. It's quite like a Luigia. It's not. It's the Cooper. Actually, I'm going to just move the lamp around there. I'll stick this right down this back corner. Yeah, put it up on top of the hill there. And then we've got a couple of lovely big pink grips. Sorry, don't know the name of them. Oh, there's a bit of something else. So we've got these lovely deep red grips. I think they're some sort of Wenty ice. That one's a green Wenty eye, I believe. And this one is the red Wenty eye. I may be mistaken. So this big leaf grip here will go here, I believe. I'm going to hook them roots round. Ooh, there's a baby. Who's that? Oh look, another bit of jar. I'll just squeeze that in there. That tiny bit of jar thread. Right, so anyway, again, just make sure the roots are pushed into that substrate as they go, and then, like I say, the quicker they get embedded in and get those nourishments from the earth we've got underneath. That's that one. We've got that little baby one to come off it. I'm going to go here with this one. And we've got another one of the deeper red ones there. So we've got that far end and that green one as well. Let's move this way. We're going to go in here, so remove this stick for a second. And I'll get him in there. Bring the roots around the front of that rock. Push it right down to the substrate. I don't like tweezers. Tweezers are a pain in the bum, so I do everything with my fingers, as I would outside in the garden. Because technically all I'm doing here is a bit of gardening, but it'll be underwater. It's being stubborn. There's the other green one over here, in this corner. There's the clips in. And then one more big as well. We'll have the glasses later. So this is one of the Amazon sword family. I'm not sure which one it is, but it just forms a lovely big clump. Go just right between these two rocks. Look, this side window. Yeah, I'm going to put this right into there. Right, so next one. Okay, so yeah, this one here, I don't know the name of it. I believe it's a Lewigia. But we've took this out now. I'm going to break this into two clumps. So, and there we go. in the back here. There we go. Fight with a bits of twigs I put in. That can go there. And this other piece here, I'm going to go this in here. Again, that'll come right up. So then we've got this lovely red Luigia Repens Rubin. See, it's lovely dark red underneath its leaves. Again, this is going to be quite a tall plant, but I want a few, because I do it like a river. The rivers don't go, oh, we've got to grow short plants over here and big ones over there, so people when they're diving can see. So they just grow anywhere. So I'm going to put this one in here. Now come up a lovely big clump there. This one here I'm going to put here. Get a good splash of red there. Up there. Then we're going to go with this lovely purple leaf. This is Autumnanthera. But I can't remember its second name, but this is the Autumnanthera. Gorgeous plant. And that's definitely going to go right in the foreground. Here. And just shift that leaf. Push that go. And I will purchase a few more of these once they come into stock. Right. It's going to look good there. Then we add a bit of green now. And we're going to go with the Clupa australis. It's got a rounder, all roundish leaf on it. I bought 3 of these, so there's quite a good clump here. So I'll get good clumps going. I'm going to go one right here in this corner. In fact, I might actually put 2 in this corner. So I'll get a lovely big clump of it then. I'll put that one right next to it. Alright. And that'll clump right up nicely at the front there. And this other one I'm going to come right down the other end here. I'm going to put in here. And then we've got this lovely Lindaria. Now this is again a round shaped leaf. I don't know if you can see, it's got a slight variegation. So the veining is sort of lightly green to the actual leaf. It's a very pretty plant. Again, I've got 3 of these, so I'm going to put these about different places. They need to be good light so you can see the variegation there. So I'm just going to make sure I've got all these stems and put this one right here at the front. And then look at this one. I know you won't see much of it in a minute. Right in underneath where the leaf is there. Oops, there goes the tree clamp. Destroy the base lunch. And that will come up nicely there. That will leave the scraper down there as well. Catch that, leave that to the back. Right. And then one more I think we need to go here with this one. Again, right at the front, just in front of that rock there. That's the Lindorina. Funny enough, that's a Lindorina around the flora. So, like the Luigia around the flora, we put in there, not there, sorry, the Vitala around the flora. It's got the same second name because of the round leaves on it. Now we've got a Limophilia Hippodroidis. Funny enough, it's nothing like a Limophilia sensiflora that you know of. Again, there's two here. It's got a flush of pink in the leaf again. Looks like a high growth Philia to me, like the Polyspermon or something like that, but it's not. It's a Limophilia. So I'm going to get 2 clumps of that going. In here, in front of that blood red for that one. And then in between these sticks here with this one. So now I've got one more plant here that I don't know the name of. It's a lovely feathery plant. Another one I got from Garth the Plant Man, Grey Plant Man, a good friend. You see it's like a fern almost. Just got 3 little stems of that. I've got some in the other 6 foot as well. And this I'm going to put full centre ground here. So that'll come up nicely there. And then I've got some pennywort. Now pennywort you can plant or you can float. In this case we're going to have it floating. And that's a bit of a rhizome from. I'd be interested to find out. This is your pennywort. So it comes off in like strands like this. It's got those lily pad leaves, but the pad leaves don't get any bigger than that. I've got a good bit of it here. And what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to be wrapping it just like this. Anubias. I'm going to wrap it around that bit of wood like that. Twist on that piece, and then this piece here. I'm going to go swoop over the top of that one, opposite way like that. I've got one more little piece there. And literally, that's all you've got to do is just, there's a bit of a crack there, so I just slip it in there. And that'll float and then it will spread across the surface like this Java nostril. So now all we've got to do is fill up, and then we can add the house plants as it's filling. So the water's filling, as you see. We've got a few floating leaves and a few of the cones that they will settle down eventually. So we're going to add the last thing now. Now we've got a bit of water in there. This grass, this is sedge grass. There's some dwarf sedge and some full sedge. Full sedge gets quite tall, not as tall as Valus, and the dwarf sedge stays short. But there's all sorts of different ones amongst. So that's your dwarf compared to your large. Yeah. So we've got a couple of clumps of this. I'm going to go down here a few pieces. I'm just going to go down by this rock and then just shove it in that gravel. I sort of pinch the gravel around the roots a bit, help it hold down. Another little piece in there as well. And these send off runners, so the roots will run along and then a new plant will pop up. And then one more down this way. Got around the end, it did. Yeah. And then we've got another little clump of it. I'm going to go just down here where these leaves are here. I'm just going to shift that leaf, that big leaf there. Push them over there for now. Right. Again, we've got a large and small. Sorry about my heavy breathing. I can hear myself, so you must be able to hear me on the mic. And supping. So I'm going to go in there. Just be like there. Long one. This one on the side has got about 2 blades of grass on it. It'll come good. And then we've got a few other little ones here. I'll go this way with these. And put these in more like a little clump of iron. Like I say, these will spread like mad. Once they get themselves the roots established. That's the last of the plants within the plants. So now, what we're going to do next is we're going to do house plants. Now, house plants and the others. I'll start with this cheese plant here. It's been sitting in this tank so it doesn't dry out. The roots on this, whereas in one of the other tanks, are immense. It's a bit of critical instead. What with all these big tanks, you have the strapping keeps it strong on the glass, not the glass bowing. In the corners, there's always gaps for your pipe work to go through, filter such things. So what I'm going to do is one at the back. I'm going to try and thread these through that little triangle at the back there. Oh, we've got a big floating bit of wood. And these will find their own way. And I'm going to add, like I say, a filter to it just to move the water around for a few days. So that will blow about and that'll then settle and look a bit better. So as simple as that. That's that one in that corner. I'll push it down, sit. Okay. Sit there like that. That's the water moves up. This helps keep the water good, sucks out all those nitrates. We've got see how we've done that. That's how they work. poke them in the corners like that. I've also, you can also, if you've just got a rimless tank, you can buy little baskets like these here. And these just simply screw onto the tank itself, and you put your little plant in, and away it goes. There's a lot more house plants are doing add in. So once I've added them all in, I'll come back and redo it again. The water's obviously a bit cloudy, as you see. That's from the substrate, but that'll clear quite quickly in the next couple of days. Got a few floaty bits of wood here. I will dress those a bit, see if I can jam them down into the substrate a bit. They were in another tank, so I don't know why they're so floaty. But if I get them into the substrate, they will help hold. Oh, that's that one with the nubis on it. Yeah, this might be a bit more tricky. I've got the plant here. Look at that wedged in there. There's a bit of a gap just under there between a couple of stones, luckily. So just want to press them in there. That's changed the look of that because that's come to a different angle. And the noose is up top there, so I'm going to have to move that now. And again, this one, I just bend it down, shove it into the substrate there, like that. It should release, hasn't it? And that's us for the floater. Parts of the wood. I see a big clump of nubius here, so that's like that one on that wood. And that one's floating in here. So again, I'm going to get this and wedge it in the substrate best I can. That's that wedge in that substrate, and we put that back into there. Now this is the problem when you put wood into a tank, it can float. If you boil it, they'd say it doesn't float so much. And again, like this piece here, that's going to be pounding them on too, because that's what's holding that bigger nucleus down. And I can't. Might have to dress that another way. Perhaps turn it round and sit way then. No. Now I've disturbed the whole lot. Right, got it into the substrate, let it go. So read that one can't fit. And then the ones are stuck under there, won't they? Can you back under there? No, I can't. I bet if I just put that into that slot there. And what you can do as well, so once you get them in, if they still might be a bit floaty, I think that's actually got that one, you can sort of put a stone under it and then take the stone out later on. I'm just going to stick these into the substrate. That's found disturbed too many plants. It's kind of what I've had more, so we've got that nubius now again, it's coming through. All the veins is, the problem's escaping. That can go in there. And that's come back out the cell, and so's that bit. Probably floaty wood. Again. Get it down deep if we can. Use that stone to wedge that like that. now. Might as well leave that to finish filling up. Just turn these over a bit. That's coming to yours, that's why. Okay, just need to go back one up. Balls of that was dead. If someone moves, it can rip out all sorts. Well, I think we're pretty much done there. So let's come up. More to go yet. From the other tank. A few sassy snouts out here. Sassy snouts. They help keep the number of the other snails down. No shrimp in this one. Shut me in. That's that fish in. So these fish in this tank are going when we caught these on there. There's a big going in with loads of shrimps. There's a fair few to go yet though. This is the second lot of fish going in out of the other tank. Still got a fair few to catch there, the more awkward ones, like the loach and hill streams. But here we go. Oh, two fish. Oh, hold on. Go on. There you go. Shrimps. Oh, one more shrimp. Oh yeah. It's looking good. You see we've added all the house plants on there now. Just tucked them in the corner. Tied up the pothos along the back wall. Clipped it along here with some enough bulldog clips, things that are literally that clip there. All I've done is just clip it down the glass there, just to hold it in place for now. Nice and simple. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it so far. There's a few more fish to go in. I'll catch out, but at the minute the water's a bit murky. In the other tank, so it'll take a few hours before I do that, so I just add tack out on the end. But thank you for going along and watching this video again. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I think it's one of my better escapes I've done. When the water clears, that's going to look amazing. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. So here we are, day 5. Yeah, it's nearly clear. Still a little bit murky in there. And some of you will be asking yourself, how's he got fish in there already if it's only 5 days since he escaped it? Well, the simple answer to that question is the canister filter in the back there was used in the tank, another tank, so that's got dirty media or good media in it, all full of good bacteria. A lot of this wood has been in our tanks, it's got the bacteria growing on the wood and on the plants of the Java fern and what have you. And I also used 200 litres of aquarium water from the other two aquariums that I de-scaped to make this one up. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It was quite cool, I thought. Quite a long video this time round. Hope camera work was a bit better. Hope the sound over is a bit better as well. The new mic, I think, is working a bit better than the old mic. But yeah, so we've really got a good depth there going on with the plants and the wood. We've done the house plants, as you know. I also added a basket in the back here. You see there's a basket. I've put a bit of pearl grass hanging through it, but also at the back there there's pothos growing out of the basket. And the basket was a off the shelf bath tidy. And this back bar here, I just bent 45 degrees and then stuck this to the bar, shrimping bar, because you just try and stick it under, you've only got a little bit of basket showing. So I bent this over and stuck it to it like that on the top there, and that's what I should be doing this one too. And I'll go into that corner with this one when I do that. But yeah, so anyway, when you're setting up, always remember to dechlorinate your water. That's a must. I run mine through a dechlorinated filter. That's how I could fill it up straight away with a hose like that. And so yeah, it dechlorinates at source for me. But then I've got big tanks and quite a few tanks, so I need to do such things. But yeah, again, hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one.